The Parisian night air, usually filled with the romantic whispers of lovers and the clinking of wine glasses, was thick with an unsettling chill. It was Halloween, and a strange new gloom had settled over the city of light. In a quaint window box overlooking a cobblestone street lived a pumpkin named Pierre. Unlike his boisterous brethren, Pierre was a gentle soul, his carved smile radiating warmth rather than menace. He loved watching the world go by, dreaming of peace and delicious creeps. Meanwhile, deep beneath the historic Père Lachaise cemetery, a malevolent force was stirring. Zombie Lord Dubois, a dandy zombie with a tattered top hat and an insatiable hunger for chaos, had awoken. His plan, to transform Paris into a ghoulish playground and crown himself king of the undead. His first act, unleash a horde of shambling, groaning zombies onto the unsuspecting streets. The first screams pierced the night, a stark contrast to the usual festive shouts of "Joyeux Halloween!" Pierre, witnessing the horror unfold from his perch, felt a flicker of fear, but also a surge of determination. He couldn't just sit there while his beloved Paris fell, but what could a simple pumpkin do? As the zombie horde lurched closer, a young American tourist named Chloe, separated from her group, stumbled down Pierre's street. She was quick-witted and resourceful, but overwhelmed by the sheer number of undead. Seeing Pierre glowing faintly in the window, she felt an inexplicable pull. As she reached for him, a zombie lunged. Pierre, with a surge of unpumpkin-like energy, pulsed with a bright light, startling the creature and giving Chloe a chance to escape. Did you just do that?" Chloe whispered, clutching Pierre. The pumpkin seemed to nod, his gentle smile unwavering. Chloe, realizing she wasn't alone, felt a spark of hope. Together, they navigated the increasingly chaotic streets, using Pierre's mysterious light to ward off zombies and illuminate hidden paths. They narrowly escaped a swarm in the Latin Quarter, Pierre's glow momentarily stunning the creatures as Chloe led them through a secret passage she'd read about in a forgotten guidebook. Their journey led them to the iconic Notre Dame Cathedral, now eerily silent except for the groans of a few straggling zombies. Inside, Chloe discovered ancient texts hinting at a ritual that could put the undead to rest. A ritual requiring a pure heart and a source of inner light. Pierre, it seemed, was more than just a decorative gaud. Zombie Lord Dubois, alerted to the unusual resistance, sent his elite zombie guards, the Garde des Morts, to hunt them down. A thrilling chase ensued through the narrow alleys of Ile de la Cité, over the Pont Neuf, and into the labyrinthine corridors of the Louvre. Pierre's light guided them through hidden doorways and secret passages, illuminating priceless artworks that now seemed to watch their desperate flight. They found themselves cornered in the Hall of Mirrors, reflecting their terrified faces and the approaching zombie menace. Just as all seemed lost, Pierre pulsed with an intense warm light, radiating a protective barrier that pushed the zombies back. It wasn't a weapon, but a calming force that seemed to momentarily soothe the aggressive undead. Chloe, seizing the opportunity, used a conveniently placed antique mirror to reflect Pierre's light directly at the zombies. The effect was astonishing. The creatures faltered, their eyes losing some of their vacant malice. Realizing the power of Pierre's unique light, Chloe understood the ritual. It wasn't about destruction, but about peace and restoration. They needed to reach the highest point in Paris to amplify Pierre's energy, the Eiffel Tower.
The climb up the metal lattice of the Eiffel Tower was fraught with peril. Zombies, surprisingly adept climbers, pursued them relentlessly. Chloe, with Pierre nestled safely in her backpack, dodged and weaved, her heart pounding with adrenaline. They reached the second platform, exhausted but determined. At the very top, bathed in the pale moonlight, Chloe placed Pierre on the central platform. He began to glow, softly at first, then with an increasing brilliance that spread across the city. Zombie Lord Dubois, observing from a distance, felt a tremor of unease. This wasn't part of his plan. He unleashed his most powerful attack, a wave of dark energy aimed at the glowing pumpkin. But Pierre's light, amplified by the highest point in Paris, was too strong. It met Dubois' darkness not with force, but with an overwhelming wave of peace. The light spread, washing over every zombie in Paris. They didn't explode or crumble. Instead, their vacant eyes regained a flicker of their former humanity. Their grotesque moans softened into confused murmurs. The hunger for brains was replaced by a bewildered desire for croissants.
Zombie Lord Dubois, consumed by Pierre's pure light, shrieked, his dark essence dissipating into the night. The spell was broken. Paris was safe. As dawn broke, painting the sky with hues of pink and gold, the streets were filled not with groaning zombies, but with confused, disoriented Parisians and tourists who slowly remembered their Halloween night, though much of it was a blur. The zombies themselves, now just ordinary people, blinked in the morning light, wondering why they were in such strange clothes and had an inexplicable craving for pastries. Chloe, holding a now faintly glowing Pierre, watched the sunrise over a peaceful Paris. They had saved the city. Pierre, the gentle pumpkin, had shown that true strength lay not in aggression, but in the power of peace and inner light. He was no longer just a decoration. He was the silent, glowing guardian of Paris, a beacon of hope against darkness. And every Halloween thereafter, a small, beautifully carved pumpkin would mysteriously appear in a window box overlooking a cobblestone street, its gentle smile a quiet reminder of the night a peaceful pumpkin saved Paris. The following morning, the bewildered citizens of Paris began to piece together the events of the night. News reports, initially filled with panic, slowly shifted to stories of mass confusion and an inexplicable citywide amnesia regarding the specifics of the Halloween incident. People remembered a pervasive sense of dread, strange noises, and a terrifying atmosphere. But the details of shambling corpses and a top-hatted zombie lord were mercifully vague, like a half-remembered nightmare. Chloe, however, remembered everything. She carefully carried Pierre, whose glow had now faded to a soft internal warmth, back to the window box where she'd first found him. She knew he couldn't stay with her. His place was here, watching over the city. As she gently placed him back, a small, intricate carving appeared on his rind, a tiny Eiffel Tower, a silent testament to their shared victory. Word of Chloe's bravery, albeit without the full, unbelievable truth of a sentient pumpkin, began to spread. She was hailed as a local hero, a quick-thinking tourist who had helped countless people navigate the chaos. But Chloe knew the real hero was Pierre. Months passed. Paris slowly returned to its vibrant, romantic self. The memory of the Halloween incident became a quirky, spooky urban legend, often recounted with shivers and laughs over coffee and croissants. One crisp autumn evening, as Halloween approached once more, Chloe returned to Paris. Her first stop was the familiar cobblestone street. There in the window box sat Pierre. His smile was as gentle as ever, and a faint, almost imperceptible warmth radiated from within him. He seemed to recognize her, his tiny carved eyes twinkling. Chloe smiled, a tear welling in her eye. "Happy Halloween, Pierre. Thank you for saving Paris." That night, as the city prepared for its Halloween festivities, something magical happened. Throughout Paris, in windows, on doorsteps, and in public squares, pumpkins began to glow with a soft, warm light. Not the eerie glow of jack-o'-lanterns, but a comforting, peaceful radiance that seemed to push back against the darkness of the night. It was as if Pierre's essence had spread, inspiring every pumpkin in Paris to become a tiny beacon of hope. And in his window box, Pierre glowed brightest of all, his gentle smile a silent promise that even in the darkest of nights, peace and a little bit of light could always triumph. He was the guardian of Paris, the tranquil pumpkin who had shown that true heroism wasn't about monstrous strength, but about the quiet power of a pure heart. And every Halloween, as children dressed as ghouls and ghosts roamed the streets, a different kind of magic filled the air, the comforting, peaceful glow of a city protected by its silent, smiling pumpkin. The end.